Hello, okay, it's 7:30, so we'll start. We will talk about water-soluble vitamins today, but we have some reviews from the fat-soluble vitamins.
Hello, okay, it's
So,
7:30,
oops.
so we'll start. We will talk about.
Okay, so you don't have to hear me again and again. Okay, before that, if you're here, don't forget to leave your name. And if you have a question, please let me know. Hi. Okay, I'm gonna share the entire screen. Okay, so do you see this? It is, so I kind of made this as I was preparing for the review today. Basically, it's just the important things that I heard from the lecture that she said that you probably need to know this for the exam. Also, just the red highlighted ones that I got from the PowerPoint. If you want to, I can send this to you. She probably have something looking like this. I'm not 100% sure that she will like print it out and will give it to you or something. But if you want, you can use this as a review. I'm hoping that we'll have time at the end to just review this together so that you have like a couple times you repeat it and hopefully when you study by yourself, it's a little bit easier to study. So let's keep going. We have a lot to cover. Okay. Okay, so remember the fat soluble vitamins are ADEK, ADEK, and rest of them, all of them are water soluble vitamins. So most of them are B vitamins except one, vitamin C. So these are reviews from fat soluble vitamins. Remember what retinoids is? That's so vitamin A has two forms. One is beta carotene and the other is retinoids. Beta carotenes are found in fruits and vegetables. Retinoids are found in the animal source. So she said beef liver is a great. Any animal liver is a great source of vitamin A. Epithelial cell, do you remember what this means? Epithelial means a lining of a cell. So when it talks about epithelial cell, that means skin of our skin. So vitamin A helps with a stronger barrier of skin. Hi, Lindsay. Okay. Vitamin D. So whenever we see sunlight, we need to associate with vitamin D, right? This question is a little bit tricky. Is it's asking if all forms of vitamin D's need sunlight to be activated. I don't. If you came to my office hour last week, and also remember from the lecture, there was a picture with different. Hi Kaylee. Different forms of vitamin D. So the cholesterol needs sunlight to be an active form of vitamin D, but the vitamin D also goes to our kidney, or I think it goes to liver first, then go to kidney to be an active form and be used. So there are different forms of vitamin D. So not all forms need sunlight. So this is false. If we get vitamin D from supplement or fortified milk or fortified breakfast cereal, we don't need sunlight to use those vitamin D. So this is false. Best source of vitamin E, do you remember the answer? The answer is this. She said especially the germ of the grain part. So that's why it's whole grain. So when it's not refined, they have the germ attached to the grain, and that's where you will have the most vitamin E. Okay, so now let's go to water soluble vitamins. Most of the water soluble vitamins are filtered through kidney and get eliminated. So most of them are not toxic. What's the one thing that's not? It's a B vitamin, and it gets stored in our body just a little bit. But do you remember what it is? It's vitamin B12. So except vitamin B12, all of them get eliminated. So it's hard to have too much water soluble vitamins. Okay. Oh, here. That's the answer. And vitamin E is not water soluble, so it can be toxic, but it's not water soluble, so that's why it's not the answer. Okay, you can go over this for yourself. So she talked about this in the class that the white bread or white rice, those are refined, which sounds fancy, but it just means that they took out all those nutrient dense part of grain. So it's easier to, I guess it's softer, it has a better texture, so people like it better. But because the germ part of grain is taken out, many of the vitamins are also taken out with it. So they enrich the grains with thiamine, niacin, riboflavin, uh, folic acid. Those are all B vitamins, right? And iron. We'll probably talk about iron later. Um, she also mentioned, I don't know if we talk about, yeah, we do talk about it later when we do vitamin C, but vitamin C helps to boost the absorption of iron too. So if you have iron deficiency anemia, and maybe eating grounded beef that has a lot of iron, it's best to eat with maybe like orange juice or spinach that has a lot of vitamin C, then that helps with the iron absorption. Okay, I have this in this form. Can you see this okay? I don't know if you can see this. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So I color coded like Dr. Van Green did. So thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pentothalic acid, and biotin. Oh, and vitamin B6. Those are a, those are great coenzymes in our body. We need these coenzymes to metabolize and have energy. She said, especially riboflavin, that we need to remember flavin. We need to remember that this is a great coenzyme, and we need this. I don't know why she mentioned this a couple times, but I just felt like this is something more important, maybe important for the exam, so I bolded. Also, I wrote these in blue: vitamin B6, folate, vitamin B12. Those are tightly related, and they are all related to with like a protein synthesis. So DNA is made of protein, right? Red blood cells are made of protein. So um, so those three together, they help with the DNA synthesis and red blood cell production. And we'll talk about a little bit more about it, but okay, that's about it for now. Let's go back to our slide. I don't think we have a question yet, so that's good. Let me know if you do. Oh, and vitamin C. It's an antioxidant. So we learned about other antioxidants too, right? Remember, we had a vitamin A and vitamin E. So I just remember that A, C, E, ACE, like they're really good. They are antioxidants, so they ACE it. So ACE, that's how you remember, how you can remember if you want. So vitamin C is antioxidant, and also it helps with the collagen synthesis, which we need in our tissue. So you will see in some of the facial lotions, I don't know, but they in their ingredient list, you can commonly see that they have vitamin C. That's just something that I noticed. Okay, coenzymes. So it's I don't think she will ask you what coenzymes are, but you need to understand what it is so you can understand why all these vitamins are so important, right? So coenzymes, it has co here, so it means so it's like it goes with enzymes. So enzymes are the protein that has specific functions in our body, right? So coenzyme goes in and then it helps activate the enzyme. So now enzyme is activated and now it can do its job, which is probably this example here is that this the job of this enzyme is to separate these two and make two different things that we need in our body. So that it activates it, and when the enzyme is done working, the coenzyme just gets detached and it doesn't get consumed, it just gets recycled and recycled. So that's the characteristics of coenzyme. Okay, let's go to the first of vitamin B, which is thiamine. It's it's also called TPP. So that's why we mentioned earlier that thiamine is a great coenzyme, right? It's also called TPP. It's you can find a lot in pork, and if you don't have enough of thiamine, you can get beriberi. So I remember this because you find the thiamine a lot in pork. I kind of think this as like belly. So thiamine, pork, beriberi all together, it's associated. So you can laugh, but that's how I memorize it. What is beriberi? So sometimes you will see this like severe malnutrition form, or you can see that this person is underweight, but they will have swollen like edema. So if you like this person, if someone pushes your skin and you have beriberi, you know how when you push your skin down, you know how it like springs back and you can't really tell if someone just pushed your skin. But if you have beriberi and you push your skin because you have edema and the thiamine deficiency, your skin doesn't spring back out, it stays pushed and then it takes a long time to come back out. So that's one of the symptoms. I don't think she will ask you what the symptoms are. I'm just telling you what beriberi is so that it's easier for you to remember what it is. And it's associated with vitamin B1, which is thiamine. Okay, riboflavin, next one. You can find it in milk or dairy products. It's like we said, it's a coenzyme also. It works as a coenzyme, and it can be found in milk, but as she mentioned in the lecture, that it's very weak and can be destroyed by UV light. So that's why milk carton or milk bottle is opaque. Opaque is how you say it. That it's like it's cloudy. It's not clear. So deficiencies related with flavin is, as you can see, stomatitis. So that's when you have like it's almost like a cold sores that around your mouth. Glossitis, it's almost like you have a fat tongue. So it's like a tongue inflammation. So whenever you see titis, that means it's inflammation. Chiliosis, this is just like you will have a dry scales around your mouth. Altogether is called riboflavinosis. It just means the disease that you can get because you don't have riboflavin. So just know those deficiencies. Third one, niacin. So something unique about niacin is that there are many forms of niacin, right? This is also coenzyme, but one form called nicotinic acid is very useful in lowering LDL cholesterol level and raising HDL cholesterol level. Do you remember what these are? I just remember that HDL, it has H, so it's a happy cholesterol. It's healthy for us and it's good for heart health. LDL is not as good cholesterol. So if you have those heart health problem, the nicotinic acid can be very useful, but it has the side effect it does. It has flushing of your face and stuff. So I guess it's very uncomfortable. So people don't use this as much. But that's just a unique thing about niacin and nicotinic acid. Okay, so the niacin is from a amino acid called tryptophan. I don't know if you remember from our protein chapter, but this is one of the essential amino acid that we have to memorize. So the tryptophan goes into liver and gets converted into niacin whenever we need it. Okay, so when we don't have niacin, pellagra is the disease that we get. She talked about this 4Ds. I don't think you need to like memorize what those 4Ds are, but I kind of remember it as like pellagra has this 4Ds and it's very dangerous. You can die. And in Spanish, dangerous is peli or peligroso. So that's how I remember. You can laugh again, but that's how I remember. If you don't like that, you can just be like niacin, nicotinic acid, and if you don't have enough, you can get pellagra. Next one. We don't like those pictures. Okay, biotin is the next one. It's the important one that she highlighted here is that it's synthesized by bacteria in the colon. So you know how we have like a good bacteria and bad bacteria and fiber and all those prebiotics, probiotics that help having those balanced and good bacteria, right? Hi, Mandy. So the having those good bacteria in the colon helps synthesize biotin, which is essential, and we need it. Vitamin B6 is another B vitamin, and it's also called PLP. It's the last coenzyme that we're gonna talk about, and it is important in protein and amino acid metabolism. We will, which is also called transamination. I think we're gonna talk about this in a little bit. So if you have a question, hold up. If we have too much vitamin B6, then we get a nerve damage. So don't eat too much. In vitamin 6, many of the B vitamins are from animal source, but vitamin B6 is from animal source. Let's see if I did say anything from. I just said that. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to check if I needed to mention something else. Okay. It's associated with anemia, but we'll go over that in a little bit. We have this picture. Yes. So it has a lot of scary terms, but just that's why I'm repeating to you, and hopefully it will help you kind of be familiar with it. So methionine is one of an essential amino acid that we need in our body. And let me show you this picture. So this is not exactly what I am explaining, but kind of, this picture can kind of help you. So our body, so here's methionine, right? So our body does something called methylation cycle. You don't need to know you don't need to memorize the name, but methylation, methyl means this CH3, which is one carbon. So that in like a harder term, that's called the methyl group. So this one carbon CH3 gets like transferred in different parts of our body and to different enzymes and coenzyme and vitamins and stuff like that, and it does a lot of very important things in our body. So if we don't have this methylation cycle, so if we don't have this CH3 one carbon do its job, then we are in a big trouble, right? However, one side effect of that is that so methionine, as it does this like methylation cycle to do all this important job, the one side effect is that methionine needs to be converted to homocysteine. Let me go back to this one, homocysteine. However, this homocysteine is bad for us. It can cause a heart disease. So here, may contribute to the cardiovascular disease, right? So what vitamin B6 does is that it's also called PLP. So vitamin B6 or PLP helps this homocysteine becomes cysteine, and now cysteine is not harmful, and it can be used as another essential amino acid, or it can be I guess it can be used, or it can do something else, but now it's not harmful. So that's why PLP or vitamin B6 is so important. Without this, we get homocysteine buildup in our body, and that increases the risk of heart disease. Did it make sense? Hopefully. Okay. Folate. So I said vitamin B6, folate, and vitamin B6. No, sorry, vitamin 12 works all together, kind of, right? Especially folate and vitamin B12, they work like almost always together. So B6, folate, and B12, they are important in DNA synthesis and red blood cell production here, right? But something unique about folate is that if we don't have enough folate, we see a newborn with something called neural tube defects. So that's, where's the picture? This is the picture. That's not pretty, but this is very dangerous, and if it's severe, the baby will not survive even after the surgery to fix everything. So it's important for moms. That's why pregnant moms, it's important for them to always have enough folate from their food or from their supplement. Or if you expect to be pregnant, it's a good idea to have folate supplement to prevent neural tube defects. Also, it helps prevent the cancer, so it's good for us. And it helps. So in the cycle, so most of homocysteine that gets built up will go through this route using vitamin B6 or PLP, but also some of them, if we need more methionine, some of them will get converted back to methionine, and that's where folate and vitamin B12 comes in. They work together to do that. So if we need methionine back from homocysteine and we don't have folate or vitamin B12, then we don't have enough methionine, and all those important things that CH3 or that one carbon does in our body, that gets kind of funky and we will be in trouble. I just wanted to explain this term. It can be scary. So megaloblastic macrocytic. So cyte means cell, macro means big. So it's like big cell. Blastic, I don't know what it means. I think it means red blood cell. I'm not sure. But mega also means big, right? So it's big. So our blood cell, red blood cell, becomes very big, but because it lost its form, its what do you call it? Its structure, because it lost its structure. Remember from our protein chapter that the protein has like the primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, and quaternary structure. That it needs to form and stay in that structure to do its job. But because it becomes like so big and it lost its structure, it loses its function, and now it cannot carry oxygen very well, and that's why you get anemia. So folate helps with that, helps with the prevention of anemia. Another thing that folate helps, like I said, is that folate transfers this one carbon unit to B12, and now B12 is activated and it can help converting homocysteine back to methionine. Okay, so another unique thing about folate, I think I like folate. So another unique thing about folate is that the supplement is more effective in our body. It gets more absorbed in our body than the natural form from the orange juice or cod liver or stuff like that, because the supplement form does not need extra enzyme to be digested. So it eliminates the extra steps, so it's more available, biologically available in our body. We talked about this, we saw this, we don't need to talk about this. It's just that after we told pregnant moms or pre-pregnant moms to eat folate, that the case of the neural defect babies decreased. Vitamin B12, also known as cobalamin. So as we've been saying, along with the folate and vitamin B6, it helps with the DNA synthesis, and it helps making red blood cell. Also, it helps. It's important for our neural function, our nerve and stuff like that. So because folate and vitamin B12 works together, sometimes even if we don't have enough B12 and we have a lot of folate, we feel like, oh, and then, okay, let me rephrase it. So remember, I just said that folate and B12, they work to prevent the anemia. So sometimes we can get anemia from different reasons. And the doctors said, oh, you have anemia because you probably don't have enough B12 or folate. But the doctor is not sure which one it is, because they basically kind of work together, so it's harder to distinguish which one that you are deficient of and have anemia. So doctor picked and said, oh, maybe you need to have more folate. So you eat a lot of folate supplement, and that kind of masks the symptom, and now you have now your anemia is cured. Now your anemia is not macro and it's not big. Your blood cell is not big, so now it cured the anemia. But you still B12, you don't have it enough. But because you don't have anemia, your doctor thinks that maybe that fixed the problem, so maybe that's it. And then he doesn't, or she doesn't notice that you still don't have enough B12. And then if it stays that way, you will have irreversible nerve damage, because B12 also helps with the neural function. Did that make sense? So that's something people remember a lot about folate and B12 together. I don't think we'll have time to go over this thing, but this is basically the same thing that I just said. It's just boring if I just go over this. It's easier to understand if I go over this with some pictures. So it's basically same thing. If you want it, tell me, leave your email, and I'll send it to you tonight. Okay, so something to remember about B12 is that to have enough B12, two things need to work right in your body, right? So when it comes into your stomach, you need to have enough HCl, which is the hydrochloric acid, the acid that breaks down the food. We need to have this so that the B12 gets broken down from whatever it's attached from and become free and be ready to be absorbed. Another thing that needs to work well is something called intrinsic factor. The intrinsic factor is gets secreted from your stomach, and then when these two together, now that's how it gets here together. They meet together. Now it gets absorbed. So you need to do that to have the neural function and don't have anemia. Okay, last one, vitamin C. Vitamin C is a good antioxidant. It also helps with collagen, as we said. It enhances iron absorption. We said that. Scurvy is something you will get if you don't have enough vitamin C. Oh, it's also called ascorbic acid. I remember this as because it has C in it and it's a curvy, and vitamin C is a kind of curvy, so that's how I remember. If you don't have enough, you get scurvy and you get like bleedings in your skin. Okay, she didn't talk about this, so I'm gonna stop here. But should we do this just for fun? Thiamine deficiency. What causes it? Do you remember? Thiamine is related to pork. Pork is related to belly. So it's very, right? Here, the, the first one. Okay. The second one, I think this is the last question. What vitamin works together to support proper synthesis of red blood cell? I said that so many times. Hopefully you remember it by now. Folate and vitamin B12. Okay, that's all. Oops. Okay, stop. That's all. If you want the sheet that I created, let me know and I can send it to you. Just send me a message or you can leave your and oh, send me a message and I will just through a Canvas and I'll just send it to you. Okay. Thank you. Good luck. And if you have any other questions that I didn't answer or you didn't get to ask, please send me a message or email me. I'll be more than happy to answer them. So, okay. Bye.